You spray your plant, and within days, it looks worse. It's not better. The leaves that were only lightly spotted begin to turn yellow. The edges start to curl. Instead of feeling relieved, you feel confused. Just 3 days after spraying, the plant seems more stressed than before. Most gardeners expect the opposite. You treat the problem, and you expect to see improvement within a few days. But sometimes the plant declines even faster. And what surprises many people is this. The problem may not be the disease at all. Maybe the way the solution was mixed. This is something that has been noticed again and again over many growing seasons. The same pattern appears in different gardens, with different plants, and with different people. And if this feels confusing, that's very common. You're not doing anything wrong. You're simply following what most people believe is the correct way. But there is one small detail that often gets missed. And over time, that small detail can quietly affect the plant more than the disease itself. Before explaining why this happened, it helps to understand how these treatments are actually meant to work. Fungicides are often seen as a quick fix. When spots appear on leaves, or when a plant looks weak, many gardeners reach for a solution right away. It feels like the right thing to do, but in reality, fungicides are usually designed to protect plants, not always to repair damage that has already happened. This means they work best when used in a careful and balanced way. Not stronger, not more often, just correctly. A common belief is that if a small amount works, then a little extra will work even better. It feels logical. But plants do not respond the same way people expect. They are slower, more sensitive. And they often react to stress in quiet ways before showing visible signs. So when a plant does not improve right away, it is easy to think the solution was too weak. And that leads to the next step many gardeners take without realizing it. They adjust the mix. In many gardens, the same habit appears. Solution is mixed quickly. Measurements are estimated. Sometimes the label is followed loosely. Sometimes it is skipped entirely because it feels familiar. A little extra powder, a slightly stronger mix, just to make sure it works. This is often done with good intention. The goal is to help the plant recover faster. But this small change becomes a pattern, and over time it leads to results that feel confusing because, instead of helping, the plant begins to struggle more. At first, it may not be obvious. The leaves might look slightly dull. Growth may slow down just a little. These changes are easy to overlook. But they are early signs that the plant is reacting to something, and that something is often not the disease itself. To understand this better, it helps to look at what happens inside the plant after spraying. When a solution is applied to leaves, the plant absorbs part of it. This is how protection works. But when the mix is too strong, the plant takes in more than it can handle. Instead of creating a protective layer, the excess begins to stress the leaf surface. The cells become overwhelmed, and this can lead to small burns, even if they are not visible right away. Over time, this stress builds. The plant uses energy to recover from the treatment instead of focusing on healthy growth. And that is when changes begin to show. Leaves may turn yellow, edges may dry out, growth becomes slower than usual. What makes this confusing is the timing. The damage does not appear instantly. It shows up days later. So it feels like the disease is getting worse, when in fact, the plant is reacting to the treatment itself. And this brings us to the quiet mistake that many gardeners never notice. The real issue is often the concentration of the mixture. Sometimes it is slightly too strong. Other times the problem is not the strength, but how evenly it is mixed. Powder may not fully dissolve. Liquid may settle unevenly. And when sprayed, some parts of the plant receive a heavier dose, while others receive very little. So one leaf might be overloaded, while another remains unprotected. This uneven application creates stress in different areas of the plant. And because it happens quietly, it is rarely connected back to the mixing process. This is the one small mistake that can make a big difference. And the important thing to remember is this. It is not about doing more. It is about doing it gently and consistently. A small change in how the solution is prepared can completely shift how the in-plant responds. Instead of estimating, simple measuring can help keep the balance right. Taking a moment to mix slowly allows everything to dissolve properly. And when spraying, a light and even layer is often enough. There's no need to soak the plant. In fact, lighter application is usually easier for the plant to handle over time. This approach creates a steady environment for the plant. It reduces stress, and it allows the natural growth process to continue without interruption. Another important detail that many gardeners notice is how the environment changes everything. The same mixture can behave very differently depending on where the plant is growing. In warmer climates, solutions dry faster. This can leave behind a stronger residue on the leaves. What felt like a normal mix may become more concentrated after evaporation. In humid conditions, moisture stays on the leaves longer. This can increase the chance of fungal growth, but it also means the timing of application becomes more important. Indoor plants respond differently as well. They are not exposed to the same airflow or sunlight as outdoor plants, so even a gentle mix may stay on the leaves longer than expected. All of this means that there is no single perfect method for every situation. The same approach needs small adjustments depending on the environment. And this is where observation becomes more important than routine. There are also a few simple precautions that can make the process more comfortable and safe. Spraying during strong sunlight can increase the chance of leaf stress. Early morning or late afternoon is usually gentler for the plant. Allowing time between applications helps the plant recover naturally. There is no need to repeat the process too often. In many cases, less frequent and more mindful application works better than regular heavy use. Simple care, like protecting your hands or avoiding direct contact, can also make the experience more comfortable. These are small steps, but they help create a calm and steady routine, and over time, something interesting begins to happen. When the mixture is balanced and the application is gentle, the plant starts to respond differently. The leaves stop declining. They may not become perfect right away, but they begin to stabilize. New growth appears slowly, and it looks healthier than before. There is less need to spray again and again. The plant begins to manage itself with less intervention. This change is not dramatic. It is quiet, but it is steady. And this is often the moment when gardeners realize that the solution was never about doing more. It was about understanding what the plant needed all along. If you're comfortable sharing, I'm curious how you usually mix your solutions. Do you measure carefully, or do you prefer to estimate? There is no right or wrong way to learn. Every garden teaches something new over time. What matters most is noticing the patterns, watching how the plant responds, and allowing small adjustments to guide the process, because gardening is not about forcing results. It is about creating the right conditions and then stepping back. Plants often respond better to gentle care than to strong action, and sometimes the biggest improvement comes when we simply slow down and observe. Do less, watch more, and your plants will guide you. Sometimes the garden improves when we simply step back and observe.